on that. I'll start the recording here. All right. Okay, welcome to A Look Behind the Curtain with Chris, episode 4. The purpose of this video series and podcast is to answer the two questions I get the most, which are, is this real? And is anyone besides you having success with it? It's also to kind of give you a little bit of tools, techniques, and some resources for you to use in life and in business to help get you started and move you forward. So every week, I will be bringing out somebody new in the industry who is using these skills in their business and having great success with it. So have them share a little bit about their success, their business, and how it is that they got to where they are today. So today I have the great privilege of having Devon Thomas with me here. And so without further ado, I will turn it over to Devon and have him tell you a little bit about who he is and how it is that he got started.
First of all, thanks, Chris. I was raised in a military family. My dad was a career Army officer. I went to the military academy. I was also in the Army for a good while, combat veteran, got out, early 2000s, and jumped from corporate job to corporate job for 12 years or so. Before I realized, actually it was about 6 or 8 years, I realized that working for other people is work. It's always work. And there's not a lot of enjoyment on the back end. So I started looking to go into business for myself. And me and my family, we now own 2 Papa Murphy's pizza places in the Houston area. And even that then was for me just a little bit too much of working for somebody else. It was a franchise system, a lot of freedom, but still answer to a higher power. A couple years ago, actually a year or so ago, a little over a year ago, like a lot of people saw a post, a video on Facebook from a guy that was also a military academy grad, and I started watching it, and it made sense to me. It was the guy was Brandon Odom, who you may know, and I watched it and was like, wow, that's, man, I wouldn't have done more than just watch the video if it wasn't somebody that I didn't already have at least a similar background to, and Brandon, like I was a Ranger, and so I could connect with the things that he said and the things that he was talking about, and he was promoting AWOL, and I started going through the process, and that was April of last year, and I bought the Pro Academy with AWOL and really just sat on it for about 6 months. Had a lot go down in my life in the past couple of years. In the Houston area, we flooded with Harvey. We flooded the year before Harvey. And then August of last year, right before Harvey, my wife broke her leg, and she teaches horseback riding lessons. And if you can't walk, you can't teach horseback riding. So that went away for a while, and I was like, what I need to do is I need to jump on this AWOL thing, and I need to run with it as far as I can run. And that was, September, October of last year. Ended up getting up and running and ads going, doing learning from Halloween to Christmas. Got ads running just before Christmas, and started making sales. Made one of December 29th of 2017 was my first online sale, and it just no looking back from there. It was all right. How can I do this more? How can I do this better? How can I expand this? How can I help other people do this? Like, I got to let other people know about this. And so that's what I've been doing for the past 7 months, 7 or 8 months, is bringing more people into the system, bringing showing people what's available to them in life with an online business. And that, I'm no super genius, I'm no genius. I'm just a regular guy who applied some very simple principles that were well laid out, and had a good support group, good support system, and people that I can ask questions of and bounce ideas off of. And it wasn't too long until there was some pretty good success. And now I'm almost to the point where I'm doing the online marketing full time. We still own the stores, but handing off responsibility of those to some managers, and taking times like now to go and see. We're in Costa Rica right now, sitting here on the beach at Maracuya. It's gorgeous. It's the pool of our villa and the beach down there. A vacation was a lost dream a year ago. Sorry, I get emotional, but this stuff is changing my life, and I know what it can do for other people. So I'm happy to be here, happy to talk about it, happy to provide whatever assistance I can. If people need help, you need a little push, you need a little motivation, that's what we're here for. So anyway, that's me.
Absolutely, dude. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's it's beautiful view and well deserved, man. I know you're a hustler. You juggle more. When I first got started in the industry, you had just started having success right before me, and I remember watching you climb that leaderboard and how inspiring that was. And then to get to know you a little bit and realize how much you are of service to people, and you a little bit about your military background, being a veteran, and just how much you're willing to give to help others so that they can experience the same joys and happiness that you can. It's truly inspiring, and it's something that I really admire about you. So it's really cool to see that with your hard work, dedication to this simple system, that you're able to be out there on the vacations that not even a year ago weren't a reality for you. So kudos, man. Awesome job. And no worries getting emotional about it. I still get very emotional about it myself. It's really surreal how fast life can change, using these skills. It really is. So the next question I really kind of have for you is, when you were first, getting started, I know you said that you really kind of put it up on the shelf for about 6 months and then really focused in on it from October to Christmas time. When you were, starting to really focus in on it and dedicate yourself to it, what were some of the obstacles that you first came across to really get yourself to the level of success you are today? And how did you break through some of those?
Well, the biggest obstacle was what I actually thought was possible. So as much as I knew about affiliate marketing, I had come across it in a previous job, and I knew there were people out there making just absolute killing of a living and living the life of their dreams, and I knew it, but it was all, the doubt is in the how. Like what works? How can I be sure it works? And the internet for us, for my generation, was there's not a positive view of internet marketers out there. Everybody thinks internet marketer. People think spam, and I needed to get past that. So that was an obstacle of going, find somebody that you trust, or find somebody who you're like, man, if that guy's lying, he's really good. Like, the guy's not lying. If it's this business, and if there's a model like this, the guy's not lying, or the girl's not lying. It's for real. You just some of it is having a little.
Oh, looks like we're getting a little bit of that lag.
Oh,
It's all good.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I appreciate you chiming in all the way from Costa Rica. It's awesome.
But how's that?
Yeah, that's fine. We're good.
The other obstacle was me. And, you know, when I realized after, you know, starting the training with AWOL, and if anybody watching this is involved with AWOL and hasn't gone all the way through their training, I really encourage you to do it. It's the part about it that I had the least amount of faith in was that I was going to go out there and I was going to tell the story of Devon. Like, what? Who wants to hear that? Like, nobody's going to buy that. And it was there was so much self-doubt of why would anybody be interested in what I have to, if I haven't done anything online, I haven't, you know, I'm totally new to the game, and, you know, just having a little faith in hitting send on the first ad that, you know, talked about, and it didn't even talk about me. It was a very, you know, simple ad, just putting an ad out there. And, you know, it felt like, you know, it took me 6 days from the time I had everything set up and ready to go before I launched my first ad. And it was totally me going, boy, what if everybody hates it? What if people don't like it? What if this? What if that? What if, you know, all right, Devon, shut up and hit send. And finally I did. And it was, you know, once you get over that little bit, and you see that there are people that are watching this, there are people that are looking at this, now there are people that are clicking on this, now there are people now have leads now, oh my, like, I need to do more. And you know, from there on, you know, still to this day, that, you know, I'm my biggest obstacle. I'm the guy that lies to myself better than anybody else. You know, it's just a matter of now of staying the course and doing the same things day after day. We've talked a lot about routines in the past month or so, but seeing what your routine is without making one, and then being deliberate about manifesting a routine that works for you, that motivates you, that gets you to do the things that you need to do. But it's, you know, AWOL 5 pillars, great place to start. I started with those, and you know, it's whenever in doubt, go back to the basics, and those are the basics, and you know, you're going to be successful. And you know, like you said, you saw the success I had, and I just want everybody to know about it. I want everybody to know that if they don't have to, I mean, a lot of people are like, Dad, you had such an interesting life. You know, everybody's life is interesting. You have an interesting life. It's not, you know, my life isn't any more interesting than yours. I just have more kids than most. But you know, yeah, I'm getting out of my own way daily. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So basically, you know, a lot of us too, like when I first got started, I was my biggest obstacle as well. I got in my own way a lot. And you hit on something that, you know, is kind of an epidemic when people are first getting started in this industry. And I think in most places is that story we tell ourselves, that negative talk, you know, oh, it's not ready yet. Who's going to really want to listen to it? Who even cares about what I have to say? That kind of, you know, tape that plays in our head, where it's just all these negative beliefs that we're you know, bringing to the world with no foundation, you know, no facts behind them. It's just kind of this negative self-talk. And it's cool that you were able to, you know, eventually get over that, push that button, and then have the success that comes when you stop telling yourself all these negative things.
Right.
So you also happen to mention that you know, how different it is to have a routine compared to when you're just kind of going for it. You want to, you know, kind of talk a little bit about the routine that you have in your day that's been, you know, impactful and helpful?
Wow. You know, I have it's a constantly evolving routine. And just recently did I add meditation. And that was through Something Cameron had posted. So I started using Headspace. and meditating every morning. So my routine is still like I'm trying to find the perfect point in the day to do that. But do you want me to talk about particular order, or is just in general?
I mean, whatever flows for you. If you wanted to say this, from start to finish, when I wake up to when I go to bed, this is my most productive day when I stay on this routine. Or if you want to just talk about some things that, let's just stick with your routine for the day so that people can take away from what they feel.
All right. So generally, I'm an early riser. We own me and my wife, our family, we have a family ranch, operating horse ranch outside of Houston, and so there's not a lot of sleeping in on a ranch or a farm, so it's get up early. The first thing my wife and I do together in the morning is we sit down and pray. It connects us to each other. It connects us with God. It's the start of our day. And we can then feel comfortable going about and each having our own routines from there. But the first thing in the morning is with my wife. Then I started the meditation. So I do meditation for 20 minutes. After meditation, I have my green smoothie to get my greens in me, and that is something that it may be as important as anything else I do during the day. I don't, as far as timeline goes, I don't have, each day isn't exactly like the next because, having actually having 3 businesses in the family, and the marketing, so 4 businesses in the family, I don't have the same timeline every single day, but in the morning before I go where I'm going, it is pray with my wife, do my meditation, and have my green smoothie and read. And that's when I do my reading or my audiobook, listening. Right now I'm going back through Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, but which is a book that I don't think you can digest it all in one take. Yeah. So I'm back on it again, going, wow, I'm not normally a read a book twice kind of guy. I don't like to retread old tires, but I found that really helpful. So reading something that's on the line that's going to help my business or help me personally, and then the next thing I do is connect with the community, and that is scrolling. Like I love going through the AWOL Academy feed, talking to people, providing them feedback. I do get a lot of requests for assistance. That's the time where I do that is after reading. And then it's generally go off to whatever work it might be outside of the house. Middle of the day, I exercise. Not near as much as I should, but I've got to get the blood flowing at some point. For me, I tend to fade a little bit after lunch. So I found that going to the gym or working out in the early afternoon for me provides me the energy boost that I need to make it through the rest of the afternoon and evening. And then my primary marketing business work is done in the late evening and night hours. Finish up. Generally start sometime around 8:30 after dinner with the family, and finish somewhere around midnight, and then go to bed and start it up the next day. So that's generally my routine.
That's great, and I like that you mentioned that it's constantly evolving, constantly changing, because something I can really relate with. When I first got started, I had a really rigid routine that I did every morning, and that got me so far in success in my business. And I started having these issues where if I didn't change my routine, I wasn't going to go any further than where I was. So yeah, that constant adaptation, constantly bringing in new things. reading a couple different books absolutely, helped with that, changing that mindset, that routine. So I got so stuck in one routine that I also got stagnant in my business with it. So and with you having so much on your plate, you have a bunch of kids, like 6 total, correct?
Yep.
A ranch, 4 different businesses all together. I mean, obviously it's going to be constantly changing for you, but you still find the time to hit those core things. The 5 pillars: read, meditate, for you is pray as well. So it's really, people always kind of like are wondering, well, what's the key to success? What are you guys doing that no one else is doing? And one of the main things I believe, and I'm sure you believe it as well, is that consistency of that routine, being able to hit these things every day, regardless of what's coming at us or what's going on. And then to forgive ourselves if there is a day that goes by where we can't actually get it done. Don't beat ourselves up all day about it. Recognize that it needs to get done the very next day and then move on, and not just go back into that negative talk that we were talking about a little bit earlier. Yes. So super. Yeah. Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Yeah. It's find something that you're comfortable with. And I'm a firm believer that if you make it too hard to do, you won't do it. And if you make it too cumbersome, or you make too many steps, or all these things I have to do this today, and I have to do this right here, and I have to do that, then it's a chore. And chores aren't just the word sucks. Chore. Like, doesn't even sound good. So you want to make it a habit, and habits are things that we almost do without thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And if it can just be part of your, like you said, you asked me, like, what you going, what's your routine? And I go, wow, I never, if I write it down, it means I'm never going to do it again. That's the way if I wrote down my routine and said, this is what I have to do, then I would do it once and go, yeah, did that. Didn't get a lot out of it. I'm going to move on. It's just, I'm working for me. But anyway, it's find what you're comfortable with. And then if there are things that you need to add in there, and there are things we all need to add into our routine, there are things we all need to take out of our routine. But just like with this business, it's be deliberate about it and take it one step at a time. Don't go, oh, okay, this works. All right, now let me change everything about myself, because that's not what it is either. It's not about you changing you. It's really about you being you, and overlaying this template of routine or habit, or these business generators, because it's all, these life generators, these things that you do that generate more life, they generate more business, they just generate things, and they open your mind up, and they open your ears up, they open your eyes up, so that you can take in more, and you can use that in your daily life or in your business. I mean, these routines don't all have to be about business. There's so much more to life than that. So.
Yeah, no doubt. There's absolutely a lot more to life than just business. There's got to be a balance of everything. And it's funny that you mentioned it, that it has to be something that's in line, pretty much in my words, I'm going to word it, but aligned with who you are. You can't you can't try to implement a habit and expect it to stick and become a habit if it doesn't really align with who you are to begin with. A lot of times, that's the New Year's resolution. We're going to do something that's completely opposite of our already existing behavior, and that's why they don't hardly get seen follow through. It's because you have to figure out something that's going to align with you. So, like, for a good example for me personally is diet, like eating properly. I can go on a diet and cut calories and do all this stuff, but the minute I hit my goal weight, I'm going to go back to eating the things I like to eat. So instead of trying to cut calories and change that, I have to find things that I like to eat that are better for me and replace them, and over time build out a better nutrition plan for myself. Because if I want to just throw myself on this diet where I'm denying myself things I like, eventually when the diet's all said and done, I'm going back to the things I like. So it can't be too far off of who you originally are, like in alignment.
Right. And a thing I come across a lot with people that are, that want some help is reading. I get a lot of people like, I don't like reading. Well, then don't read. Listen. You don't like to listen? All right, watch. There's stuff. There's all kinds of things that are very pertinent to what we're doing, that you can get great ideas and you can learn a lot from by watching a video, or watching a video series that's made by somebody. So yeah, if you don't like to read, then you probably like to listen. If you don't like to listen, then you probably like to watch. And if you don't like any three of those, then like, what do you like? There's something out there for you. There's something out there in every format that you could possibly want that will help you in your life and help you in your business. And you don't have to do. There's the thing. This is the thing about AWOL. You don't have to do all the work yourself. See what somebody else is doing and don't necessarily mimic it, but find the principles that they're working off of, and they're probably willing to share them with you, and build your own routine or habit or day off of templates that somebody else has. And then you can keep what you like and throw away what you don't. But if it works for you, then it works for you. And if it motivates you to do not necessarily more, but to work more efficiently or better, then take it. And if it doesn't, then get rid of it, and get rid of it quickly. It's we have a term in as a small business owner, it's hire slow and fire quick. Like, as soon as you figure out somebody's not going to work out, get rid of them. Like, don't wait another day. Like, what are you doing? Like, if you know somebody's not going to work out for you, get rid of them. So take the time to hire correctly. So take the time to find what works for you. Don't jump from thing to thing. Find something that works for you. And once you do, go with it. And if you start something and you think, well, this is going to work for me, and you figure out it's not, then don't wait another day. Get rid of it today. Get rid of it the minute that you figure out that it's not going to work for you. That otherwise all you're doing is spinning wheels. And my only regret with AWOL was that 6 months between April and October. Like, I can't get that 6 months back. Like, I knew it and I can't get it back. So don't be Devon, and take today and take something that you know is going to work, or you've seen work, or you've invested a little time in, and see if it's going to work, and go all the way through it, and be deliberate about it. So anyway.
No, yeah, that's great. It's great advice, man. And we just we hit on kind of the next question I wanted to ask a little bit. You said you were rereading Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker. Great book. I've also had to go through it more than once. There is quite a bit of information there to kind of latch onto the first time, which was kind of the same thing when it came to a lot of the what we call the classics in that kind of realm, such as Have a Pocket Full of Money. I've had to read that one several times because there's just so
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, so much in it. So what I'd like to ask you is, whether you read it, listened to it, or watched it, because there are options for all three, like you were mentioning. There's never an excuse whether you don't like to read or not. You should be trying to get this information into you somehow. But what are some of the books that you've kind of indulged in since you've started that have really impacted you and helped you, and kind of maybe like a one or two things about those books that were the reason you would recommend them? Okay,
so I love this. Bailey turned me on to this book. It's not T. Harv Eker. It's not Napoleon Hill. It's not any of those big guys. It was Aubrey Marcus and Own the Day, Own Your Life.
Yep.
And I listened to it. And if anybody out there has read it, I think listening to it was so much better because it's him. He's the one that's narrating it, and you get all of the inflection. You get all of the things that he feels strongly about. And it was like, that was I didn't take all of the book together, and but there's a good amount of that that I immediately applied to my life, because he's literally right. If you don't own your day, somebody else does. If you don't take charge of it, somebody else is gonna. And whether that somebody else is a television, whether it's your laptop and the internet or Facebook or whatever, something is going to take over your life if you don't own it yourself. That was really, I mean, it was really eye-opening to me. And I use those principles that he talks about in that book every single day. I mean, I started with the Himalayan sea salt and
lost you for a second. Came right back last time, so hopefully it'll bounce right back.
Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Ooh.
You're lagging.
I think I might have gotten lost there. But Tacos on 12. These are my buddies that own a restaurant there in Jack's Beach. But
starting to lose you a bit. So hopefully you will bounce back here in just a second. But it looks like we have lost you. I'm happy we were able to get you back on. But
it's worth the view.
Yeah, it looks beautiful down there. I can't wait to be going on a beach vacation here. I think we're going to be trying to schedule that for February of next year, just with all the traveling we have going on right now. Can't really squeeze it in just yet. But
awesome.
Definitely need a sandy beach in my life sometime soon. But we were before we got some lag and some cutout there. We were talking about books, and specifically Aubrey Marcus's "Own Your Day, Own Your Life." I also happened to listen to it rather than read it, so I completely agree with you. Like, the way he reads that book is absolutely the way he meant someone to read it, to understand it. So it's really cool, and they have the supporting document, the PDF that you can download.
Yep.
You can have all the juicy content right at your
right.
But yeah, really great book. And I can go ahead.
With him reading it, it's almost like he's a coach for you. He's kind of, you can feel his emotion when he wants it, and and the things he feels very strongly about. You can tell the guys. Yeah, and sometimes that's all a lot of people need is seeing someone else's motivation to go, wow, you know what? I can be more motivated. Well, that guy. And that with that audiobook was very motivating. So
yeah, it's like I said, like, it's definitely, I agree, it's a good one. I just recently started reading a book that Landon had recommended called "Barking Up the Wrong Tree." I don't know if you've had an opportunity to read that one yet.
I haven't read it yet. No.
It's really interesting. But like the headline of it is, everything you've learned about success is wrong. So it's kind of like showing you how mainstream society looks at success and how that's not the proper way to look at it. And it throws all these different things from history, and it's really, really good book. I don't want to, obviously ruin it for anybody, but I definitely would recommend picking that up.
First break. If you read the First Break All the Rules.
I have not read that one.
That's a really good one for business as well. It's the first break all the rules. Don't follow the crowd. All these things that you learned are wrong, and learning something different. I like that. I'm going to check that out.
Cool. So do you have any other kind of like business related books, or maybe things that like helped you build a routine or a mindset, or like improve, how you move through your business, or even just to get you started in like an entrepreneur's mindset?
Well, having been a small business owner, and really my military background, and lessons and experience around scheduling and making a calendar and looking and seeing exactly what your schedule is. Do it for 3 weeks. Write out everything that everything that you've got on your calendar. That more than about anything else. integrating that into the affiliate marketing business was very helpful. So I had I already had a busy life. I already knew, okay, if I'm going to add this, I need to add it in a coherent manner. It needs to make sense, and it needs to be workable. It needs to be doable, because I have maybe 3-4 hours a day, maybe at the start that I could work on. I work on AWOL, so I had to make sure that I was making the most of my time. I had the motivation because I didn't say this at the beginning, but you flood twice. It's going to cost a lot of money. It doesn't matter how much insurance you have. You're going to be out a couple ducats. And so I was motivated. Like I had to do something. And that motivation over the course of the last 9 months has changed, because it's no longer a fight for survival. It's a fight for how many people can I let know about this? How many people? It's a fight for help. You and I are working on stuff together, and there are a lot of people out there that could really use this information, and all they need is somebody that they can connect with to talk to them and show them and help them just to get started. Because once people get started in this and see the value, then generally speaking, they go and they fly on their own.
Yeah.
Like the analogy I like to use is that, you can drown. You can get in over your head with AWOL very, very quickly. With online marketing, you can get in over your head very, very quickly. You start getting leads, you start getting sales. You can get in over your head quickly. What you need to do then is swim. So swim for a while. Even if it's just dog paddling, swim. You need to keep your head above the water for a little bit, and then realize that this is okay. It's okay. I can swim, and then from there, it's all about flying. Like, you can just absolutely take off and see there is a whole other world that is out there, and you can have whatever part of it that you want. And the thing I didn't bring up in my routine was visualization. Like, you have to see it. You have to see it before it's going to happen. You have to see it. You have to get it in your mind. You have to get it in your heart that this is my dream, and it's not a pipe dream, and it's not a wish. It's not a something that I think about sometimes. This is something that I'm going to have. This is I'm dreaming of this. I dream of it daily. I dream of it nightly. This is what I want. And then you'll go and get it. You'll go and have it. You'll have it. Do that. I mean, visualize it, and then manifest it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You have to have clarity. And with that clarity, I call it the universe, can start to bring in these things into your life. And you can start really having your dreams become a reality without, it's not hocus pocus. It's true science. There's a science behind it. Just recently was talking with Jeff Scapani on his interview about it. And when he first got started, he thought this was all, hoodoo, going right, like awaken and, having the right mindset and, manifesting things into your life. And then he started getting more involved. I was talking about myself too in that. And, all of a sudden you start seeing this literally happening right in front of you. You start reading the books that, tell you the science behind this stuff. And it's just, success and the things that you want to have in your life. There's a science to having these things. It's not just, we hear people talk about words like manifestation a lot, but that's a real thing. When you can see it so clearly in your mind and have, literally bring a dream into reality, that's the thing. And it's something that, people in the online community are fortunate to be able to do at a very rapid rate.
Visualize it down to the type of fixtures in your bathroom. Like it is like dream in detail, dream in color, visualize it in 3D, 4D. What you get, the deeper you go, the further that's going to get into your core. You're going to put that out there, and you're going to go and do it.
Yeah.
Like I have faith that anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. And if you can't, I challenge you. I will prove you wrong. You can do it.
I agree. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's, you know, that AWOL doesn't put money behind their name because they want to give away money, you know, or, you know, say, yeah, you know, there's no guarantee because it doesn't work. There's a guarantee because it works and they know it works and they know that they're not going to have to give anybody, you know, really fulfill the guarantee if you follow what you're supposed to do, what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
You're going to be successful. It's now some may be successful very early on. Some it may take a little while longer. We're all at different places in our life when we start this. And it's going to take, you know,
well,
don't judge yourself on the success of others.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, I'm not doing that guy over there. Like, no, wrong way. No, you're not him. He's not you. You be you, because that's who you're best at. And, you know, that's what's going to make you the most successful is being you. Don't be somebody else.
Yeah. Authenticity. I completely agree. You know, eventually, if you're not yourself, people who people will see through that. People will see that you're not being true to yourself. And it's, you know, eventually it might work for a short period of time, but you're never going to have long-term success being someone else. So yeah, completely authenticity. I agree with you 100% on that. You know, just be you. It works. But I just wanted to move it into the next question, which is, you know, I like to ask people who have either been online before having the proper training or have started other businesses and know what it is to really start something from scratch before. I like to ask them, you know, how different is it to have the proper training laid out in front of you and a good mentor and community? How different, how much of a benefit or an impact is having those things compared to, you know, either starting a business from scratch without them or, you know, especially if you know, doing it online without the proper.
Yeah, it's the mentor, the community, the information. What I have and what you have is we have if everything goes to pot, if everything goes to crap, if we get flooded again, if everything goes wrong, no matter what, I can go find a laptop and I can start a business and I can feed my family and be successful because of the very simple principles I learned when starting this and going through AWOL for the first time. There's no doubt in my mind. I used to worry about that. I used to worry about, man, what if the Atkins takes over the world and nobody eats another pizza? Then I'm screwed.
Mm-hmm.
No, not anymore. Even if that happens, and that's not going to happen. But but I've got a way that I know that I can go and earn an income and start a business and really, like, you know me, and help people. That's what I want to. That's all I want to do. I want to help other people, and I have a way to do that. I have a way to connect with them. That's what it's given me the confidence to know that whatever happens, I'm gonna be okay. You're gonna be great.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. That's you know, helping people was not the original reason when I joined AWOL, but it has absolutely became like the forefront for why I do what I do now. You know, being able to watch so many people from so many different walks of life and different areas, like coming from different areas of their life, to all come together in this community, kind of like restored my hope in humanity. Honestly, you know, I saw everyone working together so well and everyone just being so careless and selfless and sharing and really just trying to help their fellow man and woman that I couldn't help but want to be a part of it. And, you know, it went from trying to have time freedom and, you know, a significant income so I can spend time with my family and do the things I wanted to. Now I have the significant income to be able to follow my passions, and my passions ended up being sharing this, helping others. You know, the project you and I are going to be working on for veterans, things like that just became the forefront of what it is I was meant to be here, what I'm meant to do, why I'm here. And I completely resonate with you on, you know, helping others. And, you know, when I first got started on AWOL, there was a quote, and I can't remember exactly who said it, but it was something that Cameron had on one of his videos. And it was, basically it went along the lines of, once you've found something this good and it's benefiting your life so greatly, you have a responsibility to turn around and show that to someone else, to give that to someone else. You can't hoard it to yourself. You want, turn around and make everyone else's life just as great as you are currently making yours, or even better than making yours, depending on what that person's, idea of a fulfilled, happy life would be. So helping others, it's so huge.
Yeah. Life is a competition. It's just not the competition that we were all brought up to believe it is. It is not a competition against each other. It's a competition with each other. That's it. We need to figure out that we're all in this together, like, and not by chance. So you're right. It's a total responsibility of what good is the mountaintop if I'm standing up there by myself? Like,
yeah,
you got to share that. You want to share it. I want to share it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, and it just, like I said, when I first started, I really didn't have that vision yet, that grander clarity of what I was meant to do and what fulfills me the most. But, going to things like Awaken, the whole trilogy really of Inspirion, and Todd Campbell being a master at what he does, really being able to pull out from you the things that are either holding you back or, limiting beliefs, victim mentality, all these things, and help you work through them. It's been phenomenal for me to really get clarity and move into. There would be no helping the veterans organization that we're currently building without going to Awaken, meeting Todd, finding out more about myself and what I'm capable of, and giving back. Like, none of that would happen. So on that topic, I kind of want, you just recently, we got to meet the first time in person at Awaken just recently here. So I wanted to ask you, how has that experience benefited your life, being able to actually get to a live event? And what were some of the big takeaways that you got from being able to do that?
Okay, first off, the smartest thing I did was bring my wife. Bar none. Going through that together with my spouse, and having that shared experience. I can't accurately reflect everything that the Army did for me, and everything I learned and everything I experienced. That's not a shared experience that I have with my wife. Her experience was completely different, but having her come to Awaken with me was, man, it's not only helping our business, it's helped our relationship. It is understanding a better who I am, who she is, and I found man, I'm great. I'm great at serving people outside my family. Need to serve my wife better, and knowing her just a little bit better, and actually it was a lot knowing her a lot better from some of the exercises you go through there, and seeing, wow, you know what, I need to adjust the way I respond to this, or the way this person needs help, takes help, can accept help, that I need to adjust me. And that was the real eye-opening part of it, because I thought I had all that licked, Chris. I was a great leader. People wanted to follow me. I thought I had it all. I thought I had it all that figured out. And I figured out that, man, I'm doing a crappy job with the very most important person in my life. And getting the opportunity to experience that, share that, and grow together with her was fantastic. So
it's really cool that you brought that up as one of your big takeaways. I can kind of relate with you when it comes to having the military background. That's kind of something you don't really want to share with your loved ones, because it's kind of a burden you carry for yourself and with other veterans. So it's something that you and I would freely talk about, but we're a little bit more reluctant to bring that kind of that knowledge on to our loved ones, because not gonna lie, from my personal point of view, for a long time it was kind of a burden to carry it. I knew it hurt me, and I didn't want to put that hurt on anyone else. That's kind of what I mean by a burden. Not that I don't willingly carry that around. It's something that I chose to do, but
I thought it was a responsibility. I thought that that was my lot in life, that my responsibility was to carry that burden for other people, and so that others didn't have to, so that my family didn't have to, so that your family didn't have to. But we all tell lies to ourselves, and that was something that helped me cope, I guess.
Yeah.
But sharing and being more open with my wife was yet one of the giant takeaways. Yeah, and like I said, the other was how to best how to create relationships with people that are different than you, that don't have your natural tendencies, that don't think the way that you think, that don't think that, what is happiness? And you talk to 15 different people, you're gonna get 15 different answers, and and you can learn more about people by talking to them, and actually, this is novel, listening to them. Whoa, not just waiting for your turn to speak, or me in my mind was, I know how I can help you. Let's okay, shut up, Devon, and just listen. And maybe the helping part is the being quiet. And it's just that was really eye-opening. We're going to activate and accelerate, and I highly recommend it to anybody that watches this and sees this. If contact me. You do that. Go to Awaken. Go to Activate. Go to Accelerate. Get all the way. Learn more about yourself. Learn how to deal with other people. Learn how to lead, because everybody, you might think that there's nobody that you're leading, but I will tell you, I didn't think anybody was watching me. The number of people that are watching will shock you. So, and it's not, there's no putting on a happy face, making a fake Devon for everybody else. No, it only works if it's you. And, that.
Yeah, that's very well said. Very well said. So we're getting kind of close to the top of the hour. We got about 8 more minutes left. So just one last question I'd like to ask is there any last words that you would like to give, whether it's to somebody who may be on the fence about getting started online, or someone who's just getting started, that you would want to give back to them to kind of help them either get over that hurdle of getting started, or push themselves through that beginning phase, that learning phase. I mean, well, not the learning phase, but the beginning learning phase, because we're constantly learning all the time. But to really push them into success and into a better life.
For those that are just starting out, and if it's a system and a process like AWOL, then it can look really daunting. You open up the back office for AWOL, and it is video after video after video after video, and all this training and all this stuff I got to do, and it's daunting. But man, even if you spend half an hour of quality time a day, and all you make it through is one video or halfway through a video, it is me. I see it in a lot of my messages to people. It's move forward, always forward, always be moving forward. There's no substitute. There's zero substitute for action. And prove me wrong. There is no substitute for action. Idiots that act can be successful just by action.
Yeah.
But if you're in a system like AWOL, you're in a community like AWOL, and then really action is all you have to do. It's right there for you. Do the training. Take it one video at a time, one step at a time. Yeah, eat the elephant one bite at a time. That's what I would recommend for people just starting out. Like, I don't really have much time for this. Okay, then take what time you have and spend that amount of time fully immersed in this. I didn't just up and find myself in combat. There was a crap load of training that went involved in that, right? years. And you don't just wake up and find yourself successful. It's going to take work. That's what I would say to the people that are considering it and haven't done it. It's going to take work, but it's so worth it. It's you're while you're investing in this business, you're investing in yourself, and there is no more quality investment than in yourself, because it will help everybody in your life, every single person in your life. And I know there are a lot of people out there that are just like me. I have a very, very hard time saying no. Matter of fact, if everybody watching, I made Chris do this while I was on vacation.
Yeah.
Okay. I said, no, I'm going to do it. I said, I'm going to do it. I made him do it. Like he's like, no, enjoy your vacation. I'm like, no, because I have such a hard time saying no. But once I started saying yes to me and yes to investing in me and this business, wow, it's just a whole other way of life that's available to you that you don't even know about right now. But if you invest your time in yourself, then you'll see it. It may take a few months, it may take a year, it may, but you're going to see it, and it's going to be better than you can ever have imagined. So, there you go.
Perfectly said. I couldn't, honestly, that's perfect way to leave it off. That was very well said. I can't even think of something to say back to that. It was just on point. So Devon, thank you so much for taking time out of your family vacation in Costa Rica to do this, interview with me and give back to the community. I know one of the huge things for you is always, how much can you give back? You're always trying to give back. So I do appreciate you taking the time and giving back. And I'll let you get back to the family vacation. I got a couple things to just do here, housekeeping at the end, but thank you so much for giving me your time today.
You're very welcome, Chris, and anytime,
Absolutely. Oh, all right. So just want to thank everyone else for tuning in, watching today's episode, this week's episode. If you don't know who Devon Thomas is, you can find him on Facebook. He also has an Instagram. It's actually, reach out to him on Facebook. You'll be able to get him through Instagram. Just, show him some love. Thank him for coming out. Thank him for sharing, his experience, his knowledge in this industry with us. And as always, if you like this video, please, click that like button. And in the comments, tell me what your biggest takeaway was. What was the most impactful thing you heard on this interview? What was the one thing you're really going to take away from it and, implement into your life? I'd really like to hear that from you. That way, moving forward, we can, engineer the questions to get the answers you're looking for. And of course, I just like hearing back from you, making sure that we're giving you some value and doing a good job for you. Also just, if you want to see the episodes as they're coming out, as they're dropping fresh every week, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week. Peace.